So we're going to make a series of incisions to open all of our body cavities. First thing we need to do is palpate for the xiphoid process. Which is right about there. Remember, it's going to be flexible. That's where we're going to make our first incision. So this is incision 1. And we just barely want to get through the abdominal muscles. We do not want to cut into the organs. After incision 1, we're then going to take our scissors with the rounded end, not pointed, the rounded end inside the animal, and we're going to extend incision 1 back to the ribs. Once you have your scissors in, lift up away from the animal as you make your cuts. That completes incision 2. I'm going to remove a little bit of mammary tissue down here. Incision 3. It's going to run the midline down the abdominal cavity, and it's going to stop at the beginning of the pelvic cavity. Again, rounded into scissors inside of animal. That completes incision 3. Incision 4 will be a short incision right across the beginning of the pelvic cavity. Incision 5. Now for incision 6, we're going to have to cut through the rib cage. So we want to do so on one side or the other of the sternum so that we're not cutting directly through it. Again, rounded side inside. Opening of thoracic cavity. Going to cut the diaphragm away from the body wall. Be wary of broken bones, they are sharp. But breaking them ensures that the rib cage will stay open. Again, cutting the diaphragm away from the body wall. That completes all incisions for opening of body cavities. Identification of contents. Here we have the thoracic cavity. Contains the lungs as well as the heart. The body cavity itself is coated with the parietal pleura, the organs with visceral pleura. We can see this muscular sheet. This is the diaphragm, muscle used for breathing as well as separating the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. As we pull the diaphragm cranially, we see the liver. We can see in between the diaphragm and the liver, we have the falciform ligament. Within a fold of the liver, we find the gallbladder. If we pull the liver cranially, we see the stomach. Here's the lesser curvature of the stomach, and we see the lesser omentum attached here. This is the greater curvature of the stomach, and here we see the greater omentum attached. All of that fatty tissue is all greater omentum. The termination of the stomach, we start the duodenum. Duodenum runs caudally or inferior and terminates down here at a U-turn. Here we can see that U-turn that terminates the duodenum. So here we have duodenum. Here we have the start of the ileum. If we look under the greater omentum, we can see the spleen. And if we look under the spleen as well, now we can see the head of the pancreas. And we see the tail of the pancreas in close association again to the duodenum. The jejunum starts right after the duodenum. So duodenum, then jejunum. Jejunum runs for about half of the small intestines. At a point relatively in the middle, it transitions into the ileum, and the ileum continues all the way to the colon. Notice as we spread out the small intestines, we can see the mesenteries. Ileum continues all the way around until it reaches the colon. Here I'm holding the ileum. Here I'm holding the ascending colon. Look for a juncture between a small tube and a large tube. Ileum, colon. That's what we see right here. Small tube, big tube. Just inferior from where the ileum hits the colon, we have a small pouch here. This is the cecum. We have ascending colon. We have transverse colon. We have descending colon. We can see a urinary bladder. And being that this is a female, we see uterus and uterine horns. You can see a kidney. Here's our other kidney.